that he needs to correct before he's let out and dealing with another young lady that this can possibly happen to. It might be worse next time.
Thank you. Ma'am, would you like to say anything at this time? You can speak or you don't have to speak.
All I want to say is yes, I did love him. And if it was disrespectful for loving myself more, F him. I don't care because I'm a woman and I'm a good woman. He's going to be the one that hurts. So do what needs to be done because I don't want this happening to somebody else. It's not worth it. If he'd have just swung like a man that he thought he was, I probably wouldn't go this far. But he chose to take a weapon where one more hit as I was screaming and begging for my life would have killed me. I don't care what he says.
Thank you, Ms. Conway. Is there anything I'm going to switch it back to the defense. Is there anything would you want to speak to him? I know you've already spoken.
Yeah, I have, and then I saw the photos after the fact.
I understand.
Had access to those at the time.
Okay.
However, what I'm picking up on, and he's conceded to the fact that he definitely needs anger management. He's got some deep-seated issues. And I have reiterated to him that he may want to, because I don't know if this is some type of fatal attraction or, especially after seeing those photos, I was taken aback. Because again, I didn't have access to those at the time that I conversed with him, but I do know that he's dealing with some other issues. He's got, from what's reflected in the report, he's got 8 children, one of which, his younger one, is in foster care.
Okay.
Down in Zanesville. So he was telling me he's trying to, he and the family are trying to figure out how to bring her home, somehow obtain custody. But right now, he's unstable because he's out of a job. I noticed in the report that said due to COVID-19, he lost his job. He told me he's working in a factory prior to COVID-19, and then he lost that. So now he's unemployed. He's living at his grandmother's house.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. Mr. Wright, I'm sorry. Is there anything else you want to add? You can come back up to the microphone. Come on up, sir. You've spoken. I mean, I want to give you an opportunity if there was something else. I know the last thing you said, you know, if there's anything else to say, but if there's anything you want to say, I want to give you that opportunity. Okay, that makes sense.
So, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm gonna do what I can right now. Pictures, I don't know. I ain't seen no pictures, but,
All right. And, you know, and the good thing is that regardless of how this works out as far as my sentence, I believe it's my obligation, you know, and I actually, you know, I enjoy the honor of being able to help people, you know, come back from their mistakes. You know, you're still living, you're still here. I believe that anyone who wants to learn and change from their mistakes can. So any sentence I impose always has that element of saying, okay, you know what, Mr. Wright made a horrible mistake in this situation, but we're going to put him in a position where we can hopefully learn from this. A couple of things I have to bring out that I remember, if I'm not mistaken, and if I am, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think even when this ended, there basically let's just start with the fact that this is domestic violence. This court has the ability to put you in jail for 180 days. The reason that you're still here is because when the prosecutor presented it for a felony charge, for whatever reason, they didn't accept it, so you're here. And my jurisdiction is to either give you 0 days in jail or 180 days in jail. I can also give you probation, and I can do a combination of that. So accepting your plea, we have domestic violence. We have pictures that show injuries, right? I see domestic violence all the time. In this particular case, it's alleged to me through the city that you used a weapon also. And again, you're saying you lost control, so that may explain why that happened, but you used some metal piece or metal instrument. And then it was also explained to me at another hearing that at some point she was exiting or forced to exit the apartment and did not have on much in the way of clothes. I don't know if you remember, maybe a t-shirt and her underwear. I don't know what it was, but you know, it was nighttime, and you know, I'm from EC. I love EC, but she's in dangerous East Cleveland at night in a t-shirt and underwear, crying and distraught with these injuries because of what happened. So, I'm only explaining this because I think it's important for you to know where I'm coming from and how we're going to work this. To me, we make mistakes, and that's the human side of it. The other part of it is domestic violence is, in my opinion, a form of terrorism. And it's because you're with somebody that you love and your guards are down, you trust the person, and then that in turn is the person that pounces on you in this manner. And I'm very serious about domestic violence in this court. There's always jail time with domestic violence. And I'm not perfect, but one I can stand on my opinion on domestic violence because I abhor the offense. I've never done it. I won't do it. I mean, so I'm a knock. I don't even have to knock on wood. This, my position on domestic violence is against anyone who does it, whether it's me or anyone else, and that's why I stand on that. But at the end of the day, Mr. Wright, I think you can recover. Everybody can recover if you need to. But the bottom line is, for every action, there's a consequence. Even if I make a mistake, there's a consequence. So in your particular situation, on your plea, the no contact order will remain. Your fine is $1,000, but I'm going to cut your fine in half. It'll be a $500 fine. It'll be 172 days in jail, which includes a maximum of 180 if I was going to impose that, but I'm not. I'm suspending 4 of those days, and I'm giving you credit for the 4 days that you were downstairs. 2 years probation active, drug and alcohol assessment, and whatever treatment or AA classes that are needed after that, as well as the men empowerment class. The day that you're going to report to probation is going to be December 21st of this year at 9:30. You should be out of jail by that day. And if not, it's December 22nd. So the day you get out of jail, the next day you come to court so you can see Miss Ivory. But the bottom line is that's the consequence for that particular offense. This court, that's the most I can give you and keep you on probation. And the probation piece is just as important because we have to learn and we have to get tools so that this doesn't happen again. And whether you appreciate it in December of this year or 20 years from now, one day you're going to look back and say, I'm glad I got some more tools because I don't want to be in this position again. And most importantly, the next time it does become a felony. So you can get felony charges up to the point where you're doing mandatory jail time. And on probation, if you violate probation, that could be a separate offense of contempt of court. If you contact the victim, that could be contempt of court. And those are 6-month sentences all by themselves. All right. Mr. Wright, any questions? All right. Good luck, and we'll see you soon. Can you take him downstairs?